everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I appreciate that. We are here. What town are we in today?
Monguap Valley.
Monguap Valley, New York. I knew that I was testing them. So, yes, well done. You guys win the prize. Well done. Yes, you all won. I'm glad we're here in New York, and we are outside, and we are more than 6 feet away. So I'm going to pull my mask off again. I'm being good. I'm following the rules. Outside and more than 6 feet. So, yes, I want to bring up a very important point. Why in the world would someone decide that in today's world, with so many things happening, we wouldn't want more control? We wouldn't want more stability. We wouldn't want a government to come in and make things right. There are a lot of people who are thinking that right now. A lot. COVID and the election and the Russians are going to get us and the Chinese are going to get us and the economy is collapsing. So let's get government to come in and make things right. Makes sense emotionally. I get that. The problem is it doesn't work at all in the long run, and a lot of people will be harmed. When I go in and begin to force things, to make it right, to make it better, what happens is I stifle all the initiative required to actually make it better. Many of you know I come from a poor neighborhood, born and raised in Manhattan and in the Bronx. When I was a kid, I wasn't wealthy at all. My mom didn't graduate high school, and my father didn't get a college degree. The best he got was out of high school. So we were working class out of the South Bronx. How did was I able to have my family pack up and move to what we thought Long Island? Oh my God, we live with rich people now. We went out to Long Island. It was amazing for us. Suffolk County. How could we do that? We did it through entrepreneurship. We did it through ownership. We did it through my father being literally a part-time DJ and taking my mother with him. It's the 70s, so it was like Donna Summer, the Bee Gees. It was that stuff, right? For you people who are like 30, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyway, it was that age that he was doing it, going out to clubs and being a DJ and making money. It was my mom starting a cleaning service on her home, cleaning people's homes and cleaning office buildings so that we could get more money. And I was there too, by the way. I was also cleaning. I was the part of the cleaning crew. So, and I was like 7 or 8, whatever I was. Child labor. Back, I guess, terrible. Oh my God. My mom's gone. You guys can't call on her. She passed away. So, statute of limitations. Okay, so yes, I was out there doing these things to build us up so we could pack up and leave. It was entrepreneurship that got us out of a bad situation. That idea of ownership is what the Libertarian Party is about. We're in a bad spot now. We are. Everyone would agree. Tough spot for the country. So what do we need? Individual and community ownership to pick us up and to move us forward. You mean, Larry, pick up yourself by your own bootstraps? No, that's not what I mean. I mean the opposite. I mean support community efforts to bring an entire community up. That's what I mean. I mean allow local people to do better things locally. That's what I mean. If we had started that in February, when I talked about this, the COVID response, if we had started this in 2018, when I preached it for a year and a half across in this state, we'd be in a better spot right now and ready to rock and roll and recover from this COVID-19 government response. Please remember, it was not COVID that destroyed businesses. It was not COVID that destroyed communities. It was not COVID that devastated our budget. It was the government response to COVID that did all those things. COVID affects people, and it does. It's real. I get it completely. The government response affects everything else. That's what hurt us. With the right response, localized control, we could have made a better outcome 3 years ago up until today, as early as February, March, when I was talking about it. We could have done that. An important piece to ownership. Understanding ownership is understanding what property is. Money, property, business, intellectual property, all those things. To understand that, we've got to have good finances. And there's someone who I have today who's talking all about that, talking all about money, talking all about financing the economy. And that is someone here who has, believe it or not the Green Deal. Come on, that's for chumps. That's for chumps. She's got the gold New Deal. Come on, way better than green. The woman herself running for Congress here in New York State, Tori Alexander.
Thank you. Thank you. At this moment in history, I am so proud to be a libertarian. I could not imagine identifying with any other group when civil rights are so important. I am so proud to be a libertarian. Now, Larry brought up the Gold New Deal. Let's compare it to the Green New Deal. What's different about the libertarian approach? Because the libertarians are supposed to not care about other people, right? We're selfish. We only care about corporations. Does the Green New Deal have a plan for ending the subsidies for the oil and gas industry?
Yeah, put them out of business.
Hey, no, they want to subsidize the green energy and the oil and gas industry at the same time. How's that going to work out? How's that going to work out? And the subsidies for the oil and gas industry. How about the largest institutional polluter in the world? The U.S. military. Not only are they the worst polluter, but they go around destroying infrastructure all over the world that then has to be rebuilt. The libertarians do care about the environment. The libertarians do care about your safety. Do you think the captured agencies care about your health? Do you know who cares about your health? Some guy named Dwayne Johnson, not The Rock, but that guy who got cancer from Roundup and who has been fighting in the courts to end the use of Roundup. And Monsanto has been losing in the courts. Unfortunately, the way our court systems are organized, the losers are not the people in Monsanto who made those decisions to ignore the health risks and to keep going. They sold their stocks and got out of the company a long time ago. The people left holding the bag are retirees and school teachers. Okay? That's not the way it should work. The one thing that you will hear from Democrats is that they're not Republicans.
That's true.
That's why you should vote for the Democrats. They are not Republicans. What do the Republicans say? Vote for us because we're not the Democrats.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Do they have a platform that you can really, really support? The Libertarians are not Democrats. We're not Republicans.
You check 2 boxes.
2.
Nice.
And 3, we have a platform. We have a platform that everybody can embrace. My motto is decentralize the power. That's another way of talking about the free market. Now, when people say, oh, no, the libertarians want the free market. They want corporations to be able to regulate themselves. But do you know what that means? That means that corporations are forced to face the consequences of their actions. And if they have bad business practices, they go out of business. But what is government doing? It's bailing out the big banks after they make all these fraudulent loans and that get pushed on the people from the government. Government programs pushed these mortgages on people. Government programs pushed the high tuition on people. And now these individuals have to suffer the consequences of these bad business practices and these bad government programs. Libertarians want to end that. If you are a big bank and you make bad loans, you deserve to go under. You don't deserve to be bailed out by the taxpayers. That's what we're talking about when we say the free market. That means suffering the consequences of your actions. Does that always work? No, it doesn't always work. I mean, as a parent, you know that when you make your child suffer the consequences of their actions, they have to do chores to replace the thing they broke or whatever. Maybe they'll break another one again. But you don't stop. You don't just give up and not still expect them to be responsible. So we expect people to be responsible. That's what libertarians are about.
Thank you. Okay, great.
Should I take some questions?
Oh, do you want to take questions? Any questions from the audience right now?
something you said resonated with me. You were speaking about how it's tragedy that so many Americans are having to resort to GoFundMe campaigns on like uh, basic medical interventions or big catastrophes in life. So what is your solution for the healthcare?
The question is about healthcare. People are having to resort to GoFundMe campaigns in order to raise the money to take care of healthcare. When I was a child, I remember we had an insurance policy where we paid out of pocket for normal health care, and it kicked in if there was some major medical catastrophe. But that's no longer allowed. The government has decided that this is the only kind of insurance that you can buy. It has to cover everything that every medical expense that you might have beforehand. And that's kind of like getting car insurance that covers every oil change. It would be really expensive. But if we're expected to pay out of pocket for the minor things, and we have some sort of insurance to cover us for the major things, then most of us could manage it. And we would also have a relationship with our doctors that would be transparent. How much does this service cost? And you would see the bill, and you would be able to determine whether or not it's something that you could afford, and you could negotiate. But it's between the patient and the doctor, and there isn't a third party intervening. Now, I think we need to get back to that. I think we need to get back to that where most people are paying for their medical expenses out of pocket for the small stuff. That way we can keep an eye on things. We won't have doctors charging $100 for an IV bag or something like that. You can see the prices. I think that the patients, the consumers need to have some control. But the bigger piece, the catastrophic illness, we as a country don't allow people to die because they're poor, right? We don't allow that. We're civilized. But how do we do that without making those people who take care of their health subsidize those people who don't take care of themselves? How do we do that without taxing everybody, putting it in a big pot, and then hoping that whoever is redistributing that money is going to be fair and isn't going to pocket some of it? How do we do that? We need to look at how we fund everything. We need to look at how we fund everything. How does the United States take in revenue? Through taxes. That is the worst way to fund programs. We all witnessed recently with the CARES Act, which was the COVID response, how trillions of dollars were created overnight to go to big businesses to bail them out. Carnival Cruise Lines got a cheap loan. United Airlines got to fly empty planes around for no particular reason. Crazy, while all of us are struggling. So now, this has been going on since 1913. The Federal Reserve took the sovereign right of the U.S. Treasury to print dollars. We need to take that back. And instead of taxing everybody to build infrastructure and then charging people to use it with tolls and things like that, we print the money. We stop giving the money. We stop giving the right to the Federal Reserve to create as much money as they want, to give it to the 1%. Stop that. And we only use this new federal dollars to fund the infrastructure that then we can use. What else is a government for except to build the community infrastructure that we could all use? So that's a radical change. But the one person who has been saying this for years and years is Ron Paul. Libertarians have been saying this for years. Libertarians have been trying to end the wars for years. No one else, no other party is trying to end the wars. No other party is talking about the corruption in our monetary policy. This year in New York, as Larry has been saying at every meeting, New York's going to go to Biden. You've got nothing to lose by voting for Joe Jorgensen and everything to win. This year, the GOP candidate, Kyle Vandewater, is sitting this one out. He's not raising any money. The GOP is happy with Delgado because he supports a lot of Trump's legislation. Delgado will probably win. It's a swing state. It's a swing district, but it looks like Delgado is tipping it. Vote for me instead. Vote for me instead. You've got everything to gain by voting for me instead. So Sullivan County, thank you very much for coming out.
So we should vote for both you and Joe Jorgensen?
Vote for me, Victoria Alexander, and Joe Jorgensen, Libertarian candidates, when you go into the, or when you fill out the
What's
absentee.
your website?
My website is directdemocracyus.org or alexanderforcongress with the number 4.com. I need some donations. I need some donations because I would like every county to have 100 yard signs. It's a great investment and it's a good form of advertising because people drive by and they say, I have an option. I have an option that I never knew I had. They'll go home and they'll search my name and they'll say there's a different way forward, the libertarian way forward. And I guarantee you, if somebody gets on my website and reads through those things that I have listed on my platform, they'll vote for me. That will happen. So directdemocracyus.org. Thanks, everyone.
Everybody, it's so amazing. I took my jacket off because it's hot. I hope you still respect me. So yes, but no matter what, I'm still here. Name on my shirt in case you've forgotten who I am. So I'm ready either way. I'm very happy that we have so many candidates like Victoria here, showing you there's another way. Actually having answers for our actual problems. If you've been watching these lives, there's many candidates out here running across New York State trying to do the right thing. It's really important that we do the right thing. Vote gold this year. This is our year. Vote gold in New York. If you don't, how are we going to make things better? It's a serious question. How are we going to make things better? We're falling back into a world where we just go, well, at least I'm not the other guy. At least he's not the other guy. At least he's not the other gal, whatever the case may be. That's not enough for change. That's enough for only one thing. Stagnation. And that's where we are now. The at least mindset leads to stagnation. We're already there. Let's change that. How are we going to get out of our bad spot that we're in? It's through new ideas, new views, new thought processes, just like Victoria has. Support her, support others, vote gold. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for coming. Take care.